Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to United Stands. I'm here. The legend killer is here. I'm about to finish off another manager after their last press conference. Carrick today has had his last press conference. I think we're all certain about that. We all know, that Rangnick is on his way in, barring an absolute catastrophe. You won't put it past this club, would you? But that is it. We're done with Carrick. That was his last words today. We're going to go through it. I was here when Ollie had his last press conference. I didn't know at the time that it was going to be that kind of weekend against Watford last weekend, but he's gone. He's finished. Carrick's about to follow him. Whether he'll follow him out of the door, he was asked questions on the coaching staff today, Carrick. We'll get into that as well. That was interesting. He kind of did an Ollie sort of sidestep ploy on that one. So, yeah, we'll get into that. But, yeah, guys, get your comments in as well. Let me know what you think. Obviously, we're all looking kind of past this press conference. We will go into the details of it, but obviously Rangnick, we did the show last night and everything, talking about what he's going to bring, how excited the fan base is. Will it unite the fan base? Because that's a big, big thing right now, because we are so split. I've seen it up close and personal. Online, we've seen Gary Neville talking about it. Online fans against match-going fans. It's a load of crap, really. But there is divides in both of them sections of the fan base. No one can agree on one thing. But one thing I have noticed, especially on social media since the news broke yesterday, is that everyone pretty much is on board with this. It's massive. It's monumental in terms of helping this club move forward, because the fan base needs to be on board. And if the full fan base is on board with Rangnick, then that's going to be a positive. We're not going to have the fallout. It's not going to be the horrible atmosphere. And ultimately, I think everyone will get behind it. And therefore, getting behind the team and helping us perform better is a belief in the pathway forward. Let's say that. Let's hope it all works out okay. Otherwise, we're all going to look like idiots, because everyone's raving about Rangnick and what he's going to bring. So let's hope that he does bring it, and let's hope that we do turn the corner and it starts next week against Arsenal. But first of all, we've got Chelsea, and obviously we've got the press conference that Carrick's done today for the Chelsea game, and questions asked. I mean, he was asked straight away on Rangnick. He was coy on what was said. He didn't really give too much away. From Carrick himself, he says, from my point of view, not a lot. Speculation and reports are just that. My head is just on the game. You'd expect the manager to say that, wouldn't you? Working alongside Ollie, especially, anyway, watching his press conferences. But you know what? I do like the way Carrick talks, funnily enough. I do like how he just answers the questions direct. No messings, no sort of going around the houses, taking the side and back doors. He usually does answer it straight away. And I suppose you could say that it's easier for him to answer it because he's got a sort of a free ride, really. He's no real commitment to his job role right now. He's just answering what's necessary and doing. Probably it's a win-win situation for Carrick right now, isn't it? Because no one's expecting him to do something. And then when he does do something good, it looks even better for him. But yeah, there's a lot of different styles, and there's a good group of players here. Whoever comes in and whatever is implemented, I'm sure they can adapt. There's some real good talent within the squad. Sure, they'll look forward to what's ahead. So I think it's pretty much set up. I mentioned this on last night's show as well. I asked the guys and Beth, who were on last night, I said, look, the players must be informed. They will be informed. They will know what's going on. So are we going to see a difference in this Chelsea game? Are some players going to go and up their game simply because they know that Rangnick's coming in? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to the new tactics. We spoke last night regarding how some of the players are really going to find the training sessions a lot different than what they're doing now, or what they was doing under Ollie and his coaching staff. But yeah, it's going to be a complete culture shock for a lot of the players, and I think every United fan is just intrigued to see who crumbles, who sort of takes it to the next level, who gets to that next level in performance. And that's what's going to be interesting, I think. He says his focus is on Chelsea. Of course it is. It's his last game, so he's going to say that, innit? Let's be honest. It's going to be interesting to see exactly who he picks for the Chelsea games. My pure focus is on preparing the team the best I can. It's huge responsibility that I have at the moment, and I've given it everything. Anything after Sunday is not in my thoughts at the moment. True, facts, and yeah, you can't really expect him to answer that any differently than what he has, guys. I mean, last game in charge, free hit. Who are we going to go with? Who is he going to play? Is it going to be similar to Villarreal? Funnily enough, on that, I spoke with Mark earlier on, and Ricky thinks Carrick should get the role. Ricky thinks that Carrick should be in charge and given a go. He baffles me sometimes, though, and he really does. But yeah, he was happy with the structure and how we looked like we had a plan. Yeah, but the plan only really worked because David De Gea kept us in the game. It should have been about 2 or 3-0 before we even woken up and got our chances in the second half. So, yeah, Ricky, come on, mate. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but let's not forget the minor details. And not minor, are they? Without De Gea in the Villarreal game, we'd have been back to where we was under Ole. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, no, it's the right decision. And I think everyone looking at Rangnick coming in now, we're all saying, look, as good as this is, and we talked about it last night as well, what if he does good? Let's not fall into that trap again and say, look, he's done well, let's try and get him on a bit longer. We do need that permanent manager coming in once Rangnick has finished his tenure at the end of this season, at the end of the 6-month period. Let's just commit to that. I think that's probably the best way. I had sort of thoughts about what happens if he does well, and then I thought, you know what, it's not right. Let's just not make the same mistake again. Let's just commit to the long-term manager in the summer once Rangnick is finished. I think that's the best way to do it. Ovidal says, Ralphie. Oh, we're getting names from already. Ralphie has got a big job ahead of him. But I can't wait to see German football being played at Old Trafford. Love that blitzkrieg attacking football. Sue. I mean, that's a point, isn't it? We spoke about it in Ronaldo fitting into this system. It's one of them, isn't it? It looks like he's going to play the high press, and there's certain players that are going to have to adapt to it. And like I said at the start, then it's going to be really interesting to see who does and who fails, because I've no doubt that some of them will fall by the wayside. They really will. Let's see. Focused on Chelsea game, Carrick says. Another massive game, obviously. It was a big boost for us. Much needed win against Villarreal, mainly for the players that have that feeling again and gets the confidence back we lost. It is another massive game for us. These are the ones you have to enjoy. It will be a good test for us. There's that enjoy bit again. Yeah, I mean, enjoy it to a certain extent. Go out and express yourself, but don't go out there just for laughs and giggles. You know what I mean? Take it seriously at least, and actually go with the plan, implement the plan, get stuck in, perform to the best of your ability. Then maybe start to enjoy it a little bit and show some more. I mean, it kind of worked that way against Villarreal. Sort of got stuck in, stayed in the game, made sure we were solid, then unleashed a little bit more flair towards the end, and that's what took it away for us. That's how, if you was going to say United were going to beat Villarreal, that's probably how you would expect them to do it, because we've always struggled against them. We've hardly ever beaten them. We've always drew. We lost them, but we lost to them in the final, and I think that's the first time I can remember us beating them at Old Trafford, and then again, so twice. Absolutely brilliant. Azar, welcome to the new members club, my friend. Welcome to the United Stand. Mario in with super chat as well. Klopp comments on Rangnick coming to United are absolute class. He looks massively scared of what this man can do with our team. So excited, Adam. Hey, that's it. Excited fan base right now is what I'm getting. That's the vibe. That's what everyone who's messaging me and DMing me is saying. It's more of anticipation, excitement, what's coming next. Football. We can talk about football. We can actually break down tactics and talk about systems, because this is what Rangnick is going to bring. And that is where most of the fan base is. I mean, I think it's all of it, to be honest. I've not heard one person not excited or putting this down. Cue all the comments of stupidity as I say that. But let's be fair. Have you spoke to anyone who isn't intrigued and excited about what is going to happen? I keep swaying off Carrick. I know it is Carrick's last press conference, and I don't want to disrespect the man. He's done a good job. Like he said, he's putting everything into it, and he's enjoying his 2 games. Thank God it's only 2 games, but Chelsea is a bit different kettle of fish. He was asked what the new manager can bring. I think he was probably expecting these sort of questions, wasn't he, Carrick? He knew after yesterday that these sort of questions were coming. I think you can get ideas across quickly. Sometimes it is just a different voice. History proves that. There's a lot of different styles. Again, talks about styles, and there's a lot of good group of players, so on and so forth. Whoever comes in and whatever is implemented, I'm sure they can adapt. There's some real good talent here. Same sort of answer again to that question as it was before. He does talk, and he was asked about Jadon Sancho, because we did see the best of Jadon Sancho the other night, which is good. A lot of people are touting Sancho to be one of the players that really takes it on when Ralph comes in, because system player from Germany, works well in that sort of setup. Same with Donny, really, of that ilk and that sort of style of football. These are the players that a lot of United fans are talking about that they're excited about seeing under Ralph Rangnick and what he can get out of them. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button on the video as well. Smash the like button and obviously subscribe to the United Stand and get your comments in as well. Let me know who you're thinking is going to improve or get better or go to that next level. Or you could just say come from nowhere. One of the sort of reserve players, one of the players that doesn't get much game time under Ole. Is he going to come in? Let me know what you think, guys. Carl says, bring Ricky in as interim, Mata for captain, and buy Dan James in January. Champions of Europe, and Ricky's at the wheel. I'm sure someone did that on a FIFA career mode at one time, but as a joke. But yeah, no, that's exactly. Have you spoken to Ricky about the new manager yet, Adam? Not yet, but Mark has, and I've spoke with Mark. And said, I've not got the ins and outs, so we'll speak with Ricky in more depth, but he has said that he wanted Carrick to get the job. Say no more. What did Carrick say about Jadon Sancho? Well, he's a terrific player, we know that. He's never happier than when the ball's at his feet. He's trying to create things, going at defenders, trying to score goals. That's when he's at his happiest. I've seen that in games and in training. The other side is his attitude, work rate. He puts in overall performances. He has got a massive future ahead of him. We know that. It's good to see Carrick actually put him in and Sancho get a 90 minutes. I can't actually remember the 90 minutes before that. He has had one, I'm sure he has, but Sancho definitely is one player that I do feel, and everyone's seen. If you haven't seen my team, my predicted team, I sort of went off a little bit. I sort of did something a bit different in my expected team when Ralph comes in. Sancho gets in it, and Sancho in as a wing-back style player. Now, I didn't really get a chance to explain this last night, so I'm just going to do it now. I'll quickly think it may work. I mean, I didn't expect, and everyone laughed off Sancho being converted to a wing-back. I did too, but the only reason I've put him in as a wing-back possibly for Rangnick is because Rangnick is a coach. Solskjaer brought Sancho in simply to play in his 4-2-3-1 system, and that was it. That's why he bought him. So this is a whole new group of players for a new manager coming in, and they're going to make this group of players work their way. Rangnick is going to make it work his way. So I seen Sancho coming in and being able to be coached properly in an interchanging system and formation, which Rangnick does. We've all seen the 4-2-2-2 formation. We've all seen how he adapts it through the game. So I think Sancho can work in, because we all know Sancho's tracking back record and the amount of sprints he puts in and the help he gives to his fullbacks. That's been coached into him in Germany, and that's been coached into him from a very, very young age. And Carrick's talking there about Sancho being young. He's got experience of working in systems, and this is why everyone's excited about Sancho, and that's why I put him in that sort of role, because I can see him being disciplined enough to do both. But with the adaptability of the 3 at the back to the 4, out of position, in position, it completely changes. I do feel like Sancho is one of them players that's going to thrive in this. Creation in any team is important, and that is why we brought him into the club. There is so much more to come from him. I think we'll see so much more. That was Carrick talking about Sancho again when Ralph comes in. That's what I'm trying to get at. Another super chat here from Kev. Klopp said that United will be organised now, and that's not good for the league. Cannot go back on one of the major influences on his career, Jurgen Klopp, can it? And he has inevitably gone in positive on Rangnick, and I'm sure it's painful for him to say it, that he's now going to be in competition against one of the leading tacticians and well-known football brains in German football. So I think it's what you've got Klopp, you've got Nagelsmann, you've got Tuchel, all these quality managers that are pulling up trees right now have had an influence or have been influenced by Ralph Rangnick, and that is what is exciting. And hearing them talk about him, it puts a smile on United fans' faces, that's for sure. So, yeah, anything that comes from an opposition like Liverpool with a worried sort of tone to it can only mean good things. And that's what Wreck-It Ralph is bringing to Man United. Okay, so what else was he said? Plan for the rest of the season. Another inevitable question that was coming Carrick's way. I think, as you know, and can appreciate, it has been a busy week. I've given it much thought. Haven't given it much thought. Sorry, my focus has been preparing the squad the best I can. Everything after Sunday is not in my thoughts. The thoughts of you, Michael, will be in Ralph Rangnick's mind. I'm thinking going forward, because the big question that a lot of United fans want to know is, what coaching setup is he bringing? Carrick was asked about the coaches. Let me just bring up what he said here. Let me see. Important to keep the coaches. To be sitting here and talking about too far ahead, it's about Sunday. I can't get distracted by anything else. Anything else will take care of itself. He's right. Let's be honest, Carrick's right there. He's dead right, because I think we're expecting things to just fall into place straight away once Ralph comes in. A man like that isn't going to want tools to put his philosophy across that aren't going to work. And them tools are the coaches. We know for certain that in terms of knowledge and how Ralph works, he's only going to want to bring his own men in, surely. We already know that Lars is coming in. I forget his second name again now. Ratanek or something like that. His second name is. He's actually there now with him at Moscow. He has worked with him before, I think at Leipzig as well, and a few other places. I think this guy's actually worked under Pep or been second to Pep as well at some part. I remember reading that. I can't remember him dead right on that, but he's second in command. He's second in command for a reason, and that bodes well for Manchester United, because we need Ralph to come in and implement his plan. We also need the backup for that, which will be his coaching staff, which means inevitably, like Carrick was saying there, what will be will be. Everything will be settled in time. It's going to be very interesting to see not only what players survive out of this, but what coaches survive. Will Carrick survive? What do you guys think? I mean, we were sort of undecided who would stay. I don't think Phelan has got any say whatsoever in this at all. I'm not being disrespecting to Mickey. He wears a great pair of shorts, but that ain't going to go far in German football philosophy and putting this system across. I do feel like Phelan will be one of the first out. Carrick, will he want to stay if he's offered it? Could he learn? That's interesting. Could Carrick learn from Rangnick going forward? I mean, I would personally like to see Carrick go away now and learn his trade, say, in the Championship. That's what I would like to see. But will he want to stay and learn from one of the best in the business? Could he learn in a season and in 6 months? Would anyone begrudge Carrick staying the extra 6 months? McKenna, Phelan, I couldn't care too much about, to be honest. I think their levels are sort of lower age group levels, reserve team sort of coaching levels. So them, I think they've hit their ceiling, and we can all see that the highest level isn't for them. Carrick, he's got a bit of time to learn. He was learning from Mourinho. Do you know what I mean? He's been under Ole, and he's been part of the plan that really failed. So when you look at it like that, you would say Carrick probably has to go as well. Just depends what Ralph does. And like Carrick says, then it will all sort itself out. Ovidal says, I'm also excited to see the players play like an actual team rather than a loose band of individuals. I have high hopes for United and Ralphie. Ralphie, God. Carrick was also asked, how good are the foundations in place left by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? This was going to get, I've not even looked at the reply to that yet. I'm going to have a look at it in a second and give you my instant reaction to that. But I'm kind of guessing, and I can promise you now, I'm going to look down at this now and read it out. I don't know what he said. I'm just going to tell you now before I look. You'll have to take my word for this, that I'm guessing here now of what was already said, judging off what I've heard Ollie talk like before and what I've seen from Carrick after Solskjaer was left and what he said. So I'm guessing Carrick said something along the lines of, we have built up a great squad, a great bunch of players. We have changed the mood and the mindset within the club. Words like this. We have brought a United DNA back, and the next manager coming in will have a brilliant platform to build from with this group of players. Somewhat along them lines. Here we go. One of the biggest things during Ollie's time here was the stuff people don't see day to day. All right, that's interesting. We were improving, finished well last season. Everything else can get overshadowed, but it is all still there. Whatever happens next is a great starting point. Sort of, right? You just worded it differently, didn't I? We were improving. No, we wasn't. We wasn't, mate. The squad was improving, but performances were going downhill. Let's be honest. We weren't improving, was we? That you can't say that. If you looked at from when Ollie started and then his first two seasons, you could argue that point. Third, second. But when he left, and this was a discussion we had, I think, on Sunday's show, gone, as Ollie left us in a better place than when he took over. It was an interesting debate because really he had a lower win percentage than Jose Mourinho. He took over in sixth position from Jose Mourinho. He's left us in seventh position with a horrible defensive record. And it just depends. If you're judging him on what he's leaving now, then it's shocking. But what he's built, I can see it, yeah. He's built a good squad, but why wasn't the other managers given the money to build a squad like Ollie was? So you could argue the fact that the other managers were treated unfairly that came before Ollie. But ultimately, yeah, I would have thought that was what Carrick would say. He wasn't going to say anything bad. He wasn't going to say it's a mess. He was part of the mess that was going on when Ollie was sacked. So that's it. Eighth, yeah, sorry. Eighth, as I've been corrected there by Ashley in the comments. Not seventh, eighth in the league. So, yeah, worse than when he took over from Jose on the league table. And everyone says the table never lies, people. So, what? You take it and judge it as you want. But I can understand the argument for and against on that one, yes. He's actually got into talking about Donny van der Beek as well, which is interesting. Donny's one of those players who's so flexible and can play different positions. He did the same at Ajax and for Holland. Interesting how he said that there, because under Ole, we knew the difference. And Carrick's picked up on this, but Ole didn't seem to do it because Ole would never play Donny in any position where we thought he could do. And that, I mean, like in the holding role. Like, we know he can play 10, but not as well as Bruno. But every time Bruno played, we knew that Donny wasn't going to play. So Carrick's coming out with the versatility of positions and adaptability of Donny van der Beek. But Ollie never seen it. So it's interesting to see Carrick talk that way about Donny. We cannot see it. Carrick can see it. So interesting there that if Carrick gets a role anywhere in the future, how he will do. I just think it's got that bad at Old Trafford that he had no chance of really getting the job. He does need to go away from me, like I said, and just learn his trade in the Championship, like Wayne Rooney's doing, and like Lampard started off. That's perfect for Carrick, I think. Back into what he said about Donny, though, we've got ideas for where we think is the most suited, but being so flexible is the real strength, and credit to what he can be for the team. Dead right, Carrick. And I'm a bit gutted that you didn't pipe up and say this when Ollie was in charge. If they're your thoughts, we just never seen that come across while Ollie was in charge. So it does kind of look like it was Ollie's team, and Carrick isn't getting as much of a say while Ollie was there. That's what that comes across to me. You may disagree, but that's how I see in that there. I do think that Carrick had his hands tied behind his back slightly while Ollie was in charge. Ollie did make a big deal about actually being the manager and the man in charge and knowing most. So maybe he made that point clear with his coaches as well. It does come clear in the way Ollie was talking about Donny and the way that Carrick's talking about Donny there. Ultimately, guys, though, we do have a big game this weekend. With everything that's going on, it's kind of been pushed aside a little bit, but it is important to get into the Chelsea game. Team News brought up in the press conference that Carrick was talking about. We got 2 or 3 little issues. It is never ideal. 1 or 2 we are waiting on, and Luke took a bang on the head a few weeks ago and took a bang against Watford. We'll make a call on him. Fred twisted his ankle, played a big part. We will have to see how that settles down, or 1 or 2 others. Not sure what the 1 or 2 others are. Fred played the full game against Villarreal, so really it's a little bit scary that if he did have an issue twisting his ankle, he wasn't brought off and he knew about it, unless Fred lied and said he was okay because he just wanted to play. It was one of them that if you take the football boot off, the swelling doesn't allow you to put the boot back on, but you can play through it. Kind of the old school way of doing things. I've heard that story with a lot of legends before. It's like, I'm not taking my boot off because I won't be able to get it back on. Could have been that with Fred. Would you say Fred was that hardcore? I don't know. But yeah, I can't see Fred's like a machine, isn't it? I mean, much as you hate the guy, he doesn't do injuries, does he? And he will play through anything. So you've got to give him some credit for that. But I do think that injury-wise and team selection kind of takes care of itself. I wouldn't even risk Luke Shaw this weekend. If the way Carrick's talking there about Luke Shaw getting a knock on the head a few weeks ago, and then again, I mean, I was right there in front of it. It did look like Luke Shaw took that one in the chest shoulder. I may be wrong. Or he was just bailing out, like some United fans in the crowd said he bottled it and just wanted to get out of there. I wouldn't go that harsh, to be honest. But I think Luke Shaw, I wouldn't even risk him. I wouldn't risk him. His head's not right anyway. And if he's took a few smacks to it, it's going to make it worse, isn't it? So I'm not going with Luke Shaw. I do feel like Tellez should just play again. And you know what? As ropey as some people picked up on Tellez's defensive attributes in the first half, some players need a few games to get in the rhythm. We give Luke Shaw plenty of time to find his form. So why not give Luke Shaw that rest that he clearly needs? And let's give Tellez a few games. You know, it's when Rangnick comes in, I do feel like there's a possibility that Tellez could be playing a part anyway, because we've all seen the interview of Rangnick talking about Luke Shaw, and you know what? It could well happen. He may not like Luke Shaw like a lot of players. He may not like a few of the players in there. If they don't pull up trees in training or work the way he wants them to work, then he is cutthroat. They're not going to play. There's no favouritism with German football, and Ralph's bringing that to Old Trafford. So that, for me, is a big plus, and I am going to be all behind that, definitely. I don't know if Lukaku is actually fit, but Carrick talking about Lukaku here, which is a bit of a concern. Lukaku coming back for this game. Guys, I don't know. I've not seen it. If Lukaku is fit or not, let me know on that. But Carrick was talking about him. He said it feels like a long time ago. He went to Italy and did very well, then went to Chelsea. It will be good to see Rom again. He's a terrific footballer, scored goals wherever he has been. If Rom plays, we are well aware of what he brings. Yeah, we are well aware of our weak-ass soft defenders, and that's something that does concern me. No Chilwell, no Conte, no Lukaku. Gives you sort of half a hope, but honestly, I'm not sure if Lukaku is fit. I think Lukaku has a field day against our defenders, especially if balls are going into the box. This is where our captain, El Capitano, Harry Maguire, could actually make up some ground for all the misdemeanors and shite performances that he's been putting in recently. If he can have a good game against Lukaku, I mean, I still think Lukaku's out. I don't know why they're even bringing that up, but it's just thrown me out there a little bit. I don't think Lukaku will play, and that is important for us. Let's be honest. It is. Guys, that pretty much sums up Carrick's last press conference. Like I said at the start, I am the slayer. I do the press conferences when the manager is about to go. Did it with Ollie last week. It's Carrick's last one this week. Oh, sorry, Maguire is out. I forgot about that. That numpty got sent off against Watford, didn't he? So, yeah, thanks for reminding me. That is interesting. Eric Bayer, no issue with that for me. Always plays well against Chelsea. Good job you reminded me of that one, everyone, actually. But, yeah, sorry, back to where I was. Carrick's last press conference, he's done and dusted. Whether he'll be as a part of the coaching staff going forward into next week when everything gets announced before the Arsenal game will be interesting. I think that's where a lot of United fans are looking now. They're looking to see what happens once Ralph comes in, who comes in with him and who leaves. That's going to be important. And then we can get down to the nitty-gritty of seeing what he puts out on the pitch and what players actually perform for him. But guys, cheers for watching as always, and all your comments absolutely bang on again. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, bottom right there on United Stand. Give the video a like on your way out. Don't forget, hit me up on my socials if you want to get into any convos. I will reply to as many people as possible. Let me see. Please don't do any more press conference reaction. Well, I won't do any now. If it means we're going to lose Ralph, we're safe. I don't know. I'll probably do some, and then I'll lose the status of the legend killer because I don't think Ralph's going anywhere anytime soon, at least till the end of the season. But that's settled now, guys, and it's done. We can actually look forward to doing football and playing football now. But for now, that is it, guys, for this press conference. I'm going to say goodbye. I will see you tomorrow. I'm back on tomorrow, and then obviously back on for game day, which is Chelsea on Sunday. It is a busy weekend. Guys, like the video, subscribe to United Stand. I'm out of here. I will see you over the weekend. Have a good one. Enjoy the football, and here comes the Germans.